Good to my champs all around the world. It's your boy Champ Jones. We live on Albany and Vine Street. Building with the community on community issues, concerns. Hold on. Black facts, surveys, all of the above. And we in one of the most historic neighborhoods at Hartford on the north end off of Albany Avenue. You know what I mean? So we're better place or location to come and build with the people. We got, like I said, you already know the champ code of conduct. We got our attention, brothers and sisters. You are valued, you are loved, you are needed. We got our black facts, we got our surveys, we got everything we need to pick brains, but only thing we missing is a physical shovel. But you know, the tongue is almightier than the sword. What's going on, brother? How you living, man? I hope everything is going well with you where you at. You know, like I said, we right here on Albany Avenue and Vine Street. Our intention is to build with community residents about their neighborhoods, needs, wants, things that we don't want to depend on the government about, basically. Even if we could provide resources, which is, you know what I'm saying, all that, that's cool, but we want to find a way where we can build with each other, where we ain't got to do all of that, you know what I'm saying? Because needless to say, it starts with conversations, it starts with uncomfortable conversations, but needless to say, once we break those eggs and break those shells, our community will be so beautiful like it once was. If y'all speak to the people that was raised in Hartford, that was born in the 20s, born in the 30s, born in the 40s, and you speak to them about how Hartford was, we not that far off from getting back to that power, man. Like, everybody talk about Atlanta, Harlem, Oakland, which we ain't gonna go there. Y'all know I love Oakland. I was raised in Oakland. But needless to say, yo, Hartford is one of them type of cities. Hartford is up there, like, it may not be up there in population, but as far as culture and being, like I said, culturally sound, strong, historically rooted, you know what I'm saying, resilient, Hartford, you cannot mention Hartford with those cities. And all those cities that had Black Panther parties and Blackstone Rangers and all that, we had that in Hartford too, bro. So we got that same energy, yo. It just has to be directed with a different intent. Instead of, you know what I'm saying, feeling like we got to carry on tradition in violent ways. If we could come together, yo, this can be the 2022 Harlem Renaissance. This could be the Hartford Renaissance. We're talking about a time where schools is not as potent as they are. COVID got everything shaken down. Everybody has nothing consistent to hold on. Hartford can be the Renaissance of the United States, bro. I'm so serious. How do I know? Because I'm in these streets all the time, bro. I'm in these streets around. I ain't even gonna go there. We ain't gonna do that. But needless to say, we got individuals in our city that can do so much, bro. Just this much. We don't got everybody there. Long as, listen, if you gotta do 2%, just give your 100% with that 2%, and we'll be good. That's what we're gonna talk about today. Today we're gonna talk about Hartford, bro. Like, it's crazy because a lot of the stuff that go on can be solved. I know certain things can't be solved. The pain of losing a loved one through the violence, especially gun violence, that's a stain that's forever there. Needless to say, if we step back and look at a lot of the circumstances and perpetuated pain that we all experience, we'll see it's we just gotta come together, man. We gotta come together, bro. Nobody wanna keep hearing about family and friends and close to kin dying from stuff that we all know is unnecessary. But I mean, I'm gonna say but. However, there's a layer inside of that we all should understand too. That hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. You know, and a lot of us and a lot of our friends and family grew up in ways where violent output is therapeutic, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes fighting and hurting somebody feels extremely good. I know it feels wonderful. However, that's the cycle that's perpetuated, man. We gotta find outlets to substitute that against individuals. Find a sport, find an activity, find a hobby, and use that energy for that output. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of the pain and prejudice and a lot of the things we feel is really how we feel about ourselves, and that's a conversation we need to have too. A lot of the shows we watch, a lot of the music we listen to, it perpetuates the self-hate, and we may want to ignore it and just say stuff, oh, I like the beat or the hook catchy, but if you listen to the lyrics, it's degrading us. It's degrading us. It's degrading us, but we love it, and that's cool. No one's to be judged, but we have to keep an open mind to, if this is going to be the lifestyle I want to partake in, drinking, smoking, listening to this music, doing all that, let me hold that to myself and not pass it on to the next generation, right? Coming together. You already know, yup. I'm right with you. Big sis, how you doing, big sis? You know I love you. You are so beautiful inside and out. You are a wonderful person, man. Me and you we gonna do something. I want to do something for Stone Village. You heard? I want to do a jump rope contest so we could pay homage to the double dutch teams that came out of there. You know what I'm saying? Probably like an hour. Let's see who can jump rope the longest. You know, make some fun out of some history. And quiet as kept, jump rope is one of the best exercises. So think about, we got everybody that, you know what I'm saying, know about that. Everybody come out with their own jump ropes. We got the DJ, we got the music and food, and we just jumping rope for like 3 hours. Not only is that building a bond, not only is that paying homage to our history in the city, but we getting healthy, bro, and we having fun. It's people like you, big sis, we gonna need around, because you remember a time where this type of stuff was normalized. A lot of these young dudes, they don't even want to have an idea of bridging a gap due to, what's the word, or how can I put it, carrying tradition, not knowing that the dudes who they think they looking up to that's carrying tradition, they was all cool. All these niggas was cool. How I know? Because I know these dudes. They all was cool, man. We got to get together, yo. Oh, that's a fact. Trauma, yo. It's so messed up because we taught at a young age to look at trauma like it's a, how can I say this? We're forced to look at trauma as a sign of a cop-out. You see what I'm saying? Like anytime you felt in your heart, your soul, your spirit, and your body, and your mind, it's not for me, and you relay that to your friends or your community that may not look at life the way you do, niggas will look at you like that's a cop-out. Like, you scared, you a punk, you ain't, you know what I'm saying, you ain't whatever. And that's the messed up part, man, because when you overstand, you know that's just an outcry for saying, I want somebody to love me. I want somebody to understand me. I want somebody to know my pain. And when we don't get that attention, and when we don't get that nurturing, we look at the next person like, nigga, who is you to be bitching? You crying, man. You know what that, man? I don't want to hear that. This nigga's going through real stuff. Who is you to shut somebody else down for their pain? You got no right to shut nobody else down for their pain, but that's how we grew up. We grew up looking at each other's pain like, yeah, your pain ain't like mine, no. Your pain ain't like mine. Yeah, you fought 2 niggas, but I fought 5. Yeah, you took 2 shots, but I took 8. Yeah, you did 8 years, but I did a dub. Like, that shit is not normal. Like, and we comparing insanity. We take time to compare insanity. I seen a lot of shit, bro, and I'm not the one to be one to talk about what's the shit that made me crazier than what made you crazier. Like, that's, yo, listen to that. We talk about, yeah, you heard shots, but I seen niggas shot. Yeah, you seen one nigga shot, but I seen 3. Yeah, I've been to jail, but you did 2 years. But yeah, I did 8 years. Like, bro, we are comparing shit that is insane. But you talk about something you did that's good. You talk about something you accomplished. Niggas will turn their back on you. No support, no love. But let your reputation hold your community down. Niggas love you because they feel protected by your name, that you sacrificed your life, you know what I'm saying, for everybody to feel safe. Listen to that, man. That's insane, man. I get it. I overstand it. Trust me. I don't even like to go into my personal experiences and family histories, but trust me, I know how that feels. It feels good. It feels so good. It's addicting when you can look at somebody else in their face and say, nigga, you know, man, man, I know, but that's sick, yo. That's sick. It's not cool. It's not right. It's not healthy. There's countries and continents where they don't even have prisons. What up, little bruh? Take one of these. If you don't read it now, just read it later when you're bored. You heard? Alright, be safe. There's continents and countries, right? Listen to me again. There's countries that don't have jails. Guess what country leads the world in prison with prisoners in prisons? Guess what country? Yeah, man. Like I said, we live here again. We on the Avenue of Vine Street, man. What's so ill about it is, man, our people are beautiful, yo. Like, everybody going to work, everybody trying to find their little hustle, everybody trying to feed their families. It's the narrative that's given about us. It's the narrative that's perpetuated that make us look like monsters, that make us look like demons, when that's not the case. And we all know that. We all get around each other. We know, man, it's just shit that's in the air that keep us on certain levels of ignorance, bro. And I don't mean ignorance in a negative way, but just ignorance of information of what trauma can cause you to do, react, and perceive life. And if a lot of us took therapy serious, even if you're not comfortable talking to a therapist in the office, speaking to people, period, that's therapeutic. Like, take advantage of that, man, because a lot of this perpetuated propaganda that we are subjugated to, right? It's from our pain. It's not from our normality. They don't talk about us when we all together having fun. It's when we are expressing our pain in our most impoverished and neglected communities, that they know that's gonna happen. They know that's gonna happen in the projects, in the back blocks, on the avenues. Why? Because that's what poverty produces. That's not what our mothers produced. That's not what our grandmothers produced. That's what poverty produced. Poverty creates animals. I know for a fact, my great grandmother Ruth, we ain't no animals. We adapted to poverty. Just like everybody else I know on this live right now. Ain't none of us animals. Ain't none of us, none of that. We just adapted to poverty the best way we can. And when you are a victim of crime, it's a different type of embracement when you walk in these streets, bro. You embrace the violence. You embrace the tension. You embrace everything. And once again, I've been there before, and it feels so addicting. And that's what scares me with our young brothers. How you doing, Mom? I'm going to give you one of these. It's something I do for the people in the community. Okay. I appreciate you, all right? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It's addicting, but that's what make me worry about a lot of these young dudes, man. Too many of these young dudes is getting thrown in the water. They getting thrown in the water for information that they dying to find out. And what irks me is this dude's my age. Yup. This dude's my age, right? And older that know better. I get it, nigga. I get it. But this dude, we know better, man. But needless to say, I'm not gonna do that because it's layers. Because there's certain individuals that, like, when you're adapted to your environment and what you embrace and internalize, that's all you know. So a lot of us, you may find females and dudes that may be like, yo, man, every time I drive by, they always outside, or they think it's cool. That's not the case. Niggas don't think it's cool to get shot at. Nobody thinks it's cool to have somebody try to stab you in your neck. Nobody thinks it's cool for a fleet of police coming down your street. That's a misperception. Don't let them rappers think. Don't let them rappers play a role in how you perceive brothers on the block. Don't do that. Them brothers on the block, yo, I would be a fool to go into detail, which I'm not going to do, but just know everything is not what they show on TV. A lot of these dudes on the block protected your grandmother. A lot of these dudes on the block taught your kids things that no school or no institution can teach them. Don't you look down on these people. These dudes want to make a living just like anybody else. And what's funny is, if y'all go back and watch them old mafia movies, what was the difference? We talk about niggas that's paying off judges. They was paying off judges. They robbing big construction companies. We're not doing that. We're trying to make a few dollars to get by tomorrow. These niggas robbing airports, highway trucks, but nobody talk about that though. You feel me? That's glamorized. They put that in movies. You know what I mean? They put that in big screens and theaters for us to go there and be like, yo, look how the mafia rock. But if I get pulled over with something in the ashtray, now I'm just the worst human being on the world. When you had these niggas shaking down cops. So it's like, it's propaganda and it's perception, and we got to work on that. And the only way we can fix that is within ourselves. Because you got to remember, a lot of these people, they don't come around us. We know our community. They don't come around us. So for them to have a perception of us to buy into it, that's a sickness. That's like me. That's like Bong, right? Pete, right? Imagine me never being in your house, right? Never being in your house. I never been in your house. And then people around the school like, yo, Champ said y'all got roaches. You'll be like, yo, who is this nigga to be talking about what I got in my house and he never been in my house at all? That's how you gotta look at these people that's living in the suburbs speaking on our inner city residents when they call them, especially the youth, my little dear young brothers, criminals, delinquents, violent, angry, aggressive. We should be reacting the same way as if somebody said we got roaches that never been in our house. How dare you come up with that conclusion? You never been there. How would you draw that conclusion? That's an assumption. Give me your whole dialogue on how you came up with this. Nah, we don't do that. But let somebody say something about my Balenciagas not being official. Let somebody say something about my Prada jacket not being official. Let somebody say my nails ain't from Lily's. Let somebody say my bag ain't real Gucci. We going with the war. We acting out. And that's just a reflection of our low self-esteem that we got to use materialistics and brands to define who we are. Them niggas take the same material, add one more logo to it, and charge $400 every year, and we sit up there trying to find something to magnify how we want to feel through our purchases and products that we wear and our brands. That is another sign of low confidence, man. We gotta break that. I would rather support somebody that's starting their own brand and trying to do something from the ground than risking your life out here or saving your life savings up just to buy something, just to show somebody that you think you got some money. We ain't gonna keep playing though. We about to jump into the black facts. It's the Power Hour. And you know what's crazy? If y'all do y'all history on Albany Avenue, at least from what's that? I'm gonna give it from like Uptown to like Vine Street. All this shit was like the woods and the forest. What up, bro? How you doing, OG? Anything gravy? I'm on Vine Street and Ave, bro. Right at the bus stop. If you wanna come through, you know you always welcome. But needless to say, think about all the streets on that. Well, mostly the streets on the avenue, right? You got what? Let's go down. You got. Let's start from like Woodland. You got Woodland, Oakland Terrace, Deerfield, Edgewood, Pine. All this shit was the woods. Kenny Park right there. If you ever drive down the avenue, look at the trees on these side blocks. These shits is big. Shit look like a little island, bro, for real. Or a big ass forest, for real. We sitting on a land that is gorgeous, man. And needless to say, it's the propaganda and the false narratives that make us feel like Hartford not beautiful. Hartford's one of listen, bro. I lived in Oakland, California. I lived in New Haven, and I lived in Hartford. Hartford is one of the most. And when I say beautiful, bro, don't get beautiful twisted with weak. Because, you know, niggas got a way of looking at things that got to do with giving props to or something being attractive, like it's weak. Don't get that twisted, bro. Hartford is a beautiful, beautiful city, bro. I'm looking at the trees over here, yo. Like, just like Bose Park. Bose Park has some of the most gorgeous trees in the city, man. And it's like we have surroundings around us that remind us, man, it's beautification here. We just got to take pride into it. Let's clean up our cities. All these abandoned buildings we got. Send these little artists. We got all these art schools. Let these little, man, let them come and get busy. And how you doing, OG? Take one of these. That's for you. Oh, yes, sir. Let them get some paint and let them get busy, man. They could trade. Yo, I went to Philly, yo. Philly, the whole North End looking like the whole Philly. No bullshit. The whole North End looked like the whole Philly. The North End in the 90s looked like the whole Philly, right? Needless to say, they had abandoned buildings that was painted. Murals, heroes. You know what I'm saying? Like all type of stuff like painted. And it was so beautiful. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. I said, wow. Live in the middle of the hood, they got a wall. They had a wall in Philly, in North Philly, that had a wall that had all the black police officers, all the black firefighters, all the black first responders. And I said, wow, this is gorgeous, bro. I can see this in Hartford. Like, seriously, if we not gonna invest in these buildings or invest in these vacant lots, let the people who live here create an atmosphere of peace with their creativity, man. It's no need for us to feel like everything that we want to have or express or the gain has to come with a dollar sign. That shouldn't be the normality of what we live in. We should be able to do what we feel is necessary in our community, especially if you're not gonna come and pay no real mind. Because you got people that talk so much about the North End. And you ask them, you ever lived in the North End? You ever walked down there? You ever chill with someone? What you, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's always from a perspective that they never experienced. That's why I be like, wow, that's the power of perception. That's the power of perception. But needless to say, those who do know got to be the ones to express that. All right, so let's grab one of the black facts, right? It says, we got this from Giffords, GIFFORDS.org, right? And it says, black men constitute just 6% of the U.S. population and account for more than 50% of all gun homicides each year. I could see that being a fact, right? But not a fact as far as willing participation. If y'all go look at the history of this country, bro, There was a time, I'm going to say what it is, how I feel. When we say Indians and indigenous, a lot of the Indians and indigenous people look just like me, nigga. Look just like us. Don't fall for the word semantics. Word semantics cause confusion. You gotta understand, man, there's a lot of funky stuff that go on with us, but that's needless to say. Let's get back to the fact, right? But there was a time in history where villages and communities was armed with weapons by the government and in these elite groups, needless to say, and they will pay certain groups to go violate other groups or to war with other groups, and they will get certain perks or get certain passes. So that's been going on, but it's perpetuated due to a helping hand. If anybody know our people, we are not violent like that. We violent when you push us and threaten our lives. That's why they created a circumstance where we all feel like that all day. How you doing? There you go. You take one of these. No problem. How you doing, mama? That's why we live in environments that has those violent outcomes. It's structured like that. Nobody. It's not meant for people to be living so close with people with no food and no heat, no lights, no, you know what I'm saying, all these necessities, and you got them all bunched in. Something bound to happen, and they know that. They know that. That's why it's called a project. It's an experiment. We're gonna put 5 floors, right? 6, 7, 8, 12 apartments, 50 buildings. They all gonna be built. Safety first, you heard. $50-something buildings. They all gonna, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna create programs to which we know everybody in here can't afford a certain amount, get paid a certain amount, can do a certain amount, and we're gonna sit back. Then you throw the war on drugs. Whatever happened to that? When did they ever say that ended? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, a lot of the violence, and with that number 50% of our brothers being murdered, man, a lot of that is circumstantial. Don't let them feed you this narrative that it's just we built like that or we born to harm each other. Man, if that was the case, bro, You're right, and the messed up part is the ones who overstand and don't say it to nobody. The ones who know and they just sit back. Like, it has to be a different normality. My big brother Larry once said, he said, what he said, uncommon problems need uncommon solutions. Alright, so this is www.apa.org, right? In the States, children living in poverty are at a greater risk of behavioral and emotional problems. Some behavioral problems may include impulsiveness, difficulty getting along with peers, aggression, attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, and conduct disorder. How you doing? A piece of that I'd agree with, right? Because once again, say children living in poverty. Now, a lot of the behaviors children learn or behaviors they learn are behaviors they learn in their community and behaviors they learn in a home. So, I'm not saying you gotta be in poverty to be dealing with behavior issues, and you don't gotta necessarily be living in the suburbs to be perfect neither. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you can live anywhere and have issues, but needless to say, when it comes to living in poverty, so behavior problems, impulsive, yeah, because everybody's trying to survive. Everybody, man, Mr. Andrew Woods said there's no, when it comes to inner city residents at least that live in these impoverished areas, There's no such thing as post-traumatic. It's still going on. It's not post. It's not over. Like those who go to the army and come back home, who's done with their service, yeah, that's post. Because, you know what I'm saying, the triggering atmosphere is gone. You coming home and you may have certain triggers, of course. But those who wake up in areas where people get shot and killed, gotta go to work there, go home, come back again, go like act like it's nothing happened. That post is not there, bro. That's continuing stress disorder. And that's a fact. That's a fact. I believe that. Let's get to one of the next ones. We almost did with the power hour, y'all. I appreciate y'all bobbing and weaving with me, right? A lot of this outdated. Yeah, a lot of these, a few of them outdated. I don't want to go ahead with those. Let's go with this one now. Oh, let me break this off. Hey, my brother, what's going on, baby? You know what we doing, man. Chatting with the community, bro. Trying to get these black facts right. Come on, man.
Yeah, I seen. I had just opened on Facebook. I seen a live. I was like, damn, we found this.
Yeah. But what up, man? Everything good, man? You know I gotta. Come on, man. You bluffing? You bluffing? Yo, make like a day for like a half hour. Come get you right wherever you are. You comfortable? Yeah. Cause you know your shit. Yeah. Look at it. Keep working, though, bro. Yep. Yeah, guys, bro. Let the people know what we doing, man. Let them know who we are. Guess on.
What up, man? It's your boy King Hoff. We outside with the boy Champ, man. The God Champ Jones, the legend himself, man. Yo,
I don't like that word, man. I don't like that word, man. I don't like that word, man.
You already got the grace coming in. You got that's wisdom right there, my nigga.
I got you.
That just plays to the legendary status of who you are. You feel me? When I jumped on the live, I see my guy out here, so I had to pull up, man. I had to pull up and show some love and have a conversation with you, man. Join the conversation. It's important.
I appreciate
it's important
you, man.
More of us have these conversations in our city, you know, around our people.
If y'all know my brother King Hoff, man, get into one of them, man. One half of one of the best radio shows out here, the Breakers Radio, man. Y'all need to get in tune with them. Holla at them for promotional uses. Get an interview. Come through to the Wildlife Studios. Get in tune, man. They making big moves and they right from here and they don't shy away from our people. That's the difference. You got a lot of individuals that want to capitalize on the capital city, but you're not gonna catch them. You're not gonna catch them like this. You're not gonna catch them on the avenue of Vine Street building with our people, man. Live action and all that. And it ain't got nothing to do with nothing to be boasting, but it's more so like show the people you care. Don't be coming here just trying to get $1, get a view, get a like, get a share, and these people never seen you before. That's corny to me, B. If you're gonna be using our people in our city for your name, bro, let's see you out here showing the people what you really about, man. And this one of them dudes that I've seen. How you doing, ladies? These one of them individuals I've seen with my own eyes, in and out the city, in and out the state, hold our city down in so many levels that I say, yo, I'm about to damn near paint home mural over here, like, you know what I'm saying? But needless to say, bro, let them know what you got going on, what you got coming up, what's in store for the people, and how you feel about Hartford right now in our current circumstance.
All right, so we got a lot going on. We got a lot coming up. I ain't even gonna get into that. I want to answer the question though. You know what I mean? Like how I feel more so about Hartford and our people in the current state of Hartford. And I won't lie to you, it's a lot of wild things going on in the city. A lot of lives being lost right now. You know, I have a few friends who lost a few friends who and I feel like that's just the ever ongoing story in our city. But aside from that, with the amount of new businesses, new small business owners, entrepreneurs, brands that are popping up, artists that are making, growth in their artistry, it's there's a lot of amazing things going on in our city. So as far as how I feel about the current state of the city, I'm happy with it. It could obviously be better. More can obviously be happening. More could be happening for our people. A lot more could be given back to our community. But as it stands right now, where I see people who are trying to get out and change their circumstances and the circumstances of the people around them, I feel like we're in a good. I feel like we're the people who are putting that effort in. Because how many entrepreneurs do you know that are getting into real estate, or that are getting into credit repair, or busy. You know what I mean? They're getting busy. Like and shout out to the women. I gotta shout out to the women, because it's a lot of women that's showing our black brothers how to move correctly out here, man. Because a lot of these new entrepreneurs that I see, a good majority of them are women, man. So shout out to the ladies, shout out to the women that's kind of pioneering what's going on in Hartford, man.
So I'm gonna ask my brother a question. I made a statement earlier, and I want to see if he feel like that's true or false, right? Bro, you ever heard about the Harlem Renaissance?
Yeah, of course, of course.
I personally feel like this is the greatest time in history for Hartford to revisit its past and recreate it with the new creative minds and individuals we have now, to us leaving a stamp to be the 2002, 2003 Hartford Renaissance. I feel like we have an ability to create a new atmosphere of being, a new atmosphere of creation, camaraderie. And the example I gave was, if you think of any major city, may it be Oakland, Harlem, Atlanta, all of these big black places, they've all had the same civil rights movements we had. They experienced the same riots we did. They had the same civil rights movements we did. They had the same entrepreneurial community dues like we did. We are not missing no ingredient to be a powerhouse, other than the fact that people have a perception of Connecticut. But when you look at Hartford, aside from Connecticut, we are an island of our own. So I want to ask you, in your opinion, do we have the potential to be a new renaissance to make the history books?
1,000%. I think 1,000% we have the potential to create a new renaissance in Connecticut, in Hartford, New England, however you want to kind of cut it up. But I agree 1,000%. We have what it takes to create a new renaissance out here, between the creative minds that we have, between the scientific minds that we have, between the engineering minds that we have, all these people that are putting that best foot forward. I think we're not, like you said, we're not missing a piece. We're not missing a piece. I mean, because people will probably say like, oh well, we need more community, we need more camaraderie, we need more connections. The right people who need to connect with the right people are connecting. The right relationships are being built. The right bonds are being developed. You know what I mean? So I feel like, honestly, we're on the cusp of said renaissance. You know what I mean? With the different content creators that we have out here that are putting that best foot forward. You got people from Connecticut, from Hartford, going to do trips to DC, going to do trips to Atlanta, going to do trips to Miami to cover major events, and coming right back home to Connecticut, right back to Hartford, and applying the same blueprint that they saw out here. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're on the cusp of that renaissance. All the people who are in charge of kind of pushing that renaissance to where we need it to be, all we gotta do is just keep on pushing. Again, these conversations, like yourself having these conversations out here, including our community, including our people, is only furthering that agenda to get that renaissance kickstarted, man. Because once the people are behind it, because I mean, like, look at the ad. 10 years ago, this was not the ad. You know what I mean? 10 years ago, this was not the ad. We got great, we got new buildings being built up. We got so much positive things going on just on this strip in Hartford alone. And we're not talking about going to the south. That we're not talking about what's happening on Main Street, going into the south there, and at the bridge. That bridge is the north and the south, man. So as the city continues to develop itself, it's on us, you know, us, people who are from these cities, not to get pushed out, because little by little we are slowly being pushed out of these cities. Don't let them gentrify us. We got to gentrify ourselves. But it's on us to make sure that we get a piece of the pie, because they're giving out money left and right. Grants, loans, opportunities for you to get into one of these buildings, own a piece of property, and help develop your community. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're right on the cusp of that renaissance. We just all got to stay focused, laser sharp, and just keep executing. Play your role. play your part, man. I think that's the most. That's one message I want to get out there is like play your part, play your role, because we all have a role in making sure that this renaissance, that our city, our people are able to get to where they need to go. You know what I'm saying? So just play your role, whether it's being a musician and being the best musician out there, shout out to Fuego Bass, or whether it's being one of the biggest, content creation platforms out here. Shout out to the Breakers Radio. Whether it's being one of the biggest podcasts out here. Shout out to Weed and Whiskey. Whether it's being one of the voices of the city, the voices of the people. Shout out to Champ Jones. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, we all just got to play our part. Don't try to get into nobody's lane thinking that you can do it better. Just stay in your lane, play your part, and we gonna execute and we gonna win, man. There's no stopping this. Once we unify, that's the one thing they scared of the most, my nigga. Yeah. That's the one thing they scared of the most, because they know once we unify, we cannot be stopped. We cannot be stopped once we unify.
So, bro, let me ask you this, right? When it comes to the unfortunate circumstances of violence in our cities, and when it comes, especially gun violence, which take places in little pockets in our areas, especially in the north end, right?
Yeah.
From me to you, my brother, right? We know there's an element in these streets that, say, if an individual may what they call perpetuate violence or give an individual a weapon to protect themselves, that can look like some asshole shit, right? But we know in our environment, sometimes that can be a significance of love. That can be a significance of caring, bro. I know you out here naked. This is all I know. And even with all I know, I'm going to give you what I know best to be safe.
Yeah.
What's the line, though? What's the line from me understanding, I don't want my young dude out here naked, so I'm going to give home something to hold himself down, and the line between nah, bro, this is where it stops at. We're not getting into this perpetuated cycle of killing each other. What does it take for us to reach that as a normality?
That's a deep one, man. There's so many layers to peel back on that, because, like you said, if I'm giving my little homie something to protect himself or protect his little brother or protect his mother, father, it's a sign of love. It's a sign of affection. You want to make sure that they stay safe. You want to make sure that they stay alive. They get home at the end of the day. But in the same vein, you may be adding to the culture of, well, if you got it, use it. You know what I mean? So I think really and truly, you just gotta. Us as the big homies, us as the big brothers, we all have to be very, very vigilant and diligent in how we provide that sort of safety or comfort to our little ones. You know what I mean? It don't always have to be a gun. It could just be educating them in, violence prevention in the sense of how to avoid conflict or how to defuse certain situations. You know what I mean? There's a lot of weapons out there that you could use. The most powerful that you can use.
Said that. Woo, that
the most
fire.
Powerful weapon we could use is our voice, our words. You know what I mean?
Fire.
Our mind.
There's a lot of weapons you could lose. That was fire.
You know what I mean? So I think we can equip them with different weapons, man. Equip them with better words. Equip them with understanding that, look, man, I know my brother over here is hurting. He may be hurting deep inside some way that you can't see it. You know what I mean? But it's on you to kind of identify. He ain't mad at you. He don't hate you. It's just what he's dealing with internally. That's why he's pushing that shit outwards to you. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure that our young homies is confident enough within themselves. We got to make sure that our little homies know exactly I love you. Your mother, people out here love you. Because a lot of the youth, man, a lot of these kids that's dying, man, a lot of them feel like they're not loved. They feel like they don't got the love out here. Their mother and father either not in the home or not doing right by them, or they don't get the recognition outside for when they do something positive for themselves or their family. You know what I mean? So a lot of these people out here that's committing these crimes is more so for attention or a lack of feeling loved. So if we can really show each other that, I ain't gonna hold you. As I've gotten older, in my parting ways with my homies, I tell every single one of my peoples, I love you, bro. I let all my peoples know I love you, bro. Just because you might not hear it often, you might not hear it frequently, you might not have somebody in life that's telling you that they love you, but I'm going to tell you every single time we part ways, I love you, bro. So somebody out here love you, bro. It would hurt me to the core if you wasn't here no more. I love you, bro. You know what I mean? So it starts with that. Just letting niggas know I love you. Don't be afraid to say I love you, man. Kick that fucking toxic masculinity stuff out the window. Excuse my language. Kick that toxic
we
masculinity
all
stuff
live.
out the limit.
We all live in our element.
Don't limit yourself and let your brothers know that you love them, man. The more love you get, the more love we as men give to each other, show each other, the better, man. You know how many times a day I compliment somebody on their sneakers or their tie or their shirt or their jacket, whatever it may be, just because it's like, I know we as men, we don't get that, especially from each other. So once you get men starting to feel good about themselves, why would you want to go out and hurt somebody? I feel good about me. I'm happy with me. You know what I mean? Like when you in a space where you happy, you genuinely give a fuck about life, and you care about yourself, you care about your people, why would you want to go out there and tear that down? You know, so I think it starts with us simply just being happier with self, man, and teaching the youth, the young ones, to be happier with self as well, man. Happiness could really diffuse a lot of different things, man. We all walk around here depressed, bro. Just driving around, they're trying to find you. So I'm like, I'm all over. I literally bust a whole loop around the crowd, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like driving around, I'm seeing people, or the looks on a lot of people's faces. It's like not many people smiling outside.
Yeah.
You know, not many people got light in their eyes.
So that brings me I'm gonna ask you two more questions, but what you just said brought me literally into my next question. Literally, right? If you personally can put a percentage on the population that you have come across in our city as a whole, north, south, west, all of that, right? What percentage of individuals of basically Hartford residents do you think or feel should consider, if not go full-fledged with getting therapy?
100%. I'm not even gonna say 95. I ain't gonna say 60. 100%. Because I know we got a whole bunch of happy people out here in our city. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to make it seem like we're just disparaged. I mean, obviously we're disparaged, but I don't want to seem like we're all depressed and we hate our lives and we hate who we are, how we're living. You know, everything could be better always. But 100% of our people, I think, need to go to therapy, not just to understand self, but to understand their surroundings. You know what I'm saying? To understand why they react to certain people and why certain people react to them the way they do. You know what I'm saying? Because literally, once you, man, the old saying, man, the master of self is a master of everything, man. Once you master self, you can master any and every fucking thing. So everybody, 100% of our community need to go to therapy. Myself included. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I full transparency, that's something I've been needing to do myself. I've been needing to go to therapy. I've been needing to go sit down and talk to somebody and peel these layers back and figure out why I am the way I am and why I operate the way I operate. You know what I mean? So 100% of our community needs to go to therapy. They need to go have a conversation. And not a homie, not their friend, someone who's a licensed therapist, somebody who can help you understand what you're dealing with, man. Because if you wake up and the first thing in your head is, damn, I just want to go back to sleep, you need therapy, man. If you wake up and you thinking to yourself, damn, I don't want to do this shit today, you need therapy, man. If you wake up with any sort of negative thought or negative ideas or negative feelings, you need therapy, man. It don't gotta be towards anybody, it could be towards self. If you wake up feeling any sort of negativity, you need therapy. Because you should always go to sleep happy and wake up happy. So everybody, 100% of us need therapy, man. Even the little ones. More so the little ones than the older heads, because it's a lot harder to break old habits than they are to create new ones. You know what I'm saying? So I think get them young, get them in early, but we all need 100% therapy, bro. Dang. 100% of us.
Last question, bro. How can the people reach you?
How can they reach me? Oh man, they can reach me via. Shit, you could reach me via. It depends on how they want to reach me. Honestly, best way to reach me is to inbox me directly, my page, Jarmin Wynter, or The King Hoff, The King Hoff, Hoff. Or you can just email us, man. Email Marathon 7 Firm if you're looking for some marketing services, or email the Breakers Radio Show if you're looking for an interview, or you're just looking to spread the word or get some messages out there, whatever it may be. But you can reach me at The King Hoff or the Breakers Radio Show, or you can reach out to Chimp. He got a direct link to me. He got my number. You can call me any time of the day I'm picking up. So yeah, reach out to me via social media, or reach out to Chimp, and we'll tap in. And I appreciate you for having this conversation with me, man.
Always,
like I said, these conversations are important to have. For real. Very important to have.
What's most important is making it a normality for us to have these conversations live in our environments. Like my brother mentioned. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Same old, bro. How you living, man? Everything cool? Bro, that's all we ask for, bro. As long as you do what you gotta do, that's making everybody life easier, you heard? Real shit. So long as you happy, bro, and do what you gotta do, I'm happy and do what I gotta do. You safe, bro? Yes, sir. You don't even remember home. That's home from the last interview.
Oh,
we had over there. That was home.
Oh, word.
Yeah. He had a mask on the time. That was home from the last one.
Should have jumped in this one.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. But neither y'all just saw, man. We gotta normalize these type of circumstances and avenues to make our people feel safe to walk down their own communities and to speak how they feel about their communities, and for us to give them some type of resource or lead them in a direction where they can find what they're looking for. Too many times we fall into the narrative and perceptions that we're given to think that where we live at gotta be this certain way. This is a prime opportunity to recreate the village, to recreate the normality, to recreate the reactions. And if we could use the individuals that we know that know how to do it, and we could get them comfortable to come outside, even if they're in the 70s, 60s, 50s. We may not all agree on marches, but a lot of our ancestors, that's where they power at. That's what they know. That's what they comfortable at. We can't exclude them. Bring them out. Let's do walks. Let's do everything we can for every child to feel like, yo, this is an opportunity for me to love my people, love my neighborhood, love my community, and love my city. I'm more than honored and blessed to have my brother here. He's been nothing but supportive from day one. Please, if y'all can follow him, follow him. Ask your questions. If y'all need marketing, promotion, interviews, they are the top in the city, man. Like, I wouldn't even bullshit y'all, especially when it comes to this in here. You're not going to find this. You may find other people with cameras. You're going to find other people with studios, the lights. Mics. You're going to find niggas with better gold mics.
Yeah, real shit.
You're going to find people with all the equipment. But it's going to be hard to find individuals with the real sense of, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you prosper. I'm going to do all I can to help you. This is one that makes me to reach out to.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
Oh, man, always, brother.
I just want to say one thing. Like, I remember when Philando Castile got murdered. We walked from Keeney all the way on the other side, going like towards Bloomfield, all the way down to City Hall. That was because a black man from out of our state, but just a black man regardless, lost his life due to police brutality. I tell you, it was thousands of people out here walking this block, so much so that the police had to start giving us escorts down the block. I tell you right now, if we as a community was able to do so, and it's not just for somebody dying, but it's more so we need to get out and, just like you said, recreate that village. It's easy. It's as simple as, yo, we all come outside and we walk our block together. We have conversations together. It's going to be hard for you to kill a nigga that you look at as your brother. You dig what I'm saying? So just, we could do this. We could do this. Enough of our political speakers, enough of our public figures who were responsible for putting together numerous of these marches should be putting together marches for positivity. Marches where we can actually come together. All these business owners should be putting out flyers for everybody that goes in and frequents these stores. March is coming up on August, whatever. We march and we outside. It's called community togetherness, man. Community gathering. We gotta gather, man, because just like you said, we gotta recreate that village. I'm standing in a few minutes. I'm standing out here with you. I don't watch about 4 or 5 little babies run up and down the street, run across the street. That's a beautiful sight to see, man. That's a beautiful sight to see. These little kids outside actually not afraid to be outside.
Yeah, man.
You know, so we gotta just keep developing that and keep creating that sense of safety in our communities, man. So more of these little babies could feel comfortable going from this block to that block and not have to, and their parents not have to worry is somebody gonna do harm to them, because you know over there is Miss Cheryl and she gonna keep an eye on your baby. You know what I'm saying? Just throw that out there. Cause you said that about the village, and it's important, man. It's important. It's important.
Shit, ain't much for me to say, man. You grand slam that out of here. Only thing I can say is the mantra, right? You're gonna stay positive, stay motivated, and stay real, man. Champ Jones, King Hoff, thank you.
God, Champ.
Thank you. And I appreciate the Upper Albany Avenue community, Albany and Vine Street. We'll let you know the next location in which we're going to do the chat with the community. Nonetheless, this was beautiful. We saw a lot of beautiful faces, a lot of good vibes, and we want to perpetuate this in all the areas that they consider hot spots. Not only just to show y'all that everything can be believed from these narratives, but if that's the case, let's give these children, let's give these residents some hour, a power hour of peace. Let's give them an opportunity to be able to walk outside and feel someone else in their neighborhood caring about them for that hour, if not nothing else. And then let's turn that into 2 hours, 3 hours. Let's create a lifestyle. From Champ Jones and King Hoff, we out of here. Much love to all of y'all. Peace.
Call to action. If you in the comments, drop in comments, sharing your thoughts. At the next one, please just pull up. I literally popped in, saw the live while I was on road, and I said, I'm pulling up with my brother. It takes you nothing. It takes no time away from you. We need more of us out here having these conversations. So salute to you for sharing your thoughts in the comments, but bring the conversation outside, man. We outside. We got to make sure we show the utmost love and respect for this brother right here, because he is putting so much effort, so much time to helping change the lives of the people that we see every single day, man. So if you in the comments, call to action, bring your ass outside next time. You heard?